Welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host, Patrick Murray, and today we're talking about home prices in Calgary, Alberta. But before we do that, if this is your first time in this channel and you want to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then guys, just hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now, I have to tell you, I've lived in 5 major centers in my adult life. And the last move I made was to Calgary, Alberta, way back in 2001. I know I'm dating myself. Not only that though, I've been a realtor here since 2010. And all this means I have some specialized knowledge about the city of Calgary and the surrounding bedroom communities. So if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of these communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text, email, or a phone call. My information is below. I will absolutely get back to you. Okay, guys, let's do this. Let's talk about home prices in Calgary, Alberta right after this. I used to do these videos every month and much more in depth than I'm doing today, but I do these just little updates just to let you know what's happening with the market. So you're going to be able to find out what the pricing of homes is for detached homes, semi-detached homes, row or townhouses, and apartment condominiums. You're going to be able to see where the market has come from over the past several years, and you're going to be able to extrapolate and have an idea of where the market's going in Calgary, Alberta moving forward. So we'll start off by looking at the detached sector of the market. Now, I just want to make it clear here, when we're looking at these figures, we're talking about benchmark pricing. Now, there's average pricing and there's median pricing, but benchmark pricing is a far more stable way of talking about pricing than average or median. And the reason why is because we could have an unusual amount of lower end sales in a month, which could drastically affect the prices, those median and average prices, or we could have a very unusual amount of higher end sales in a month, which again could really skew the data. So what the benchmark pricing does is it looks at the average home in each sector of the market, whether it be the detached, semi-detached, row or townhouse market, or the apartment condominium market, and it assigns kind of what's going on in the market, what's happening in all sectors of the city, and what the benchmark price is for that month for that property. So this is how we're discussing prices. So keep in mind, this is the city of Calgary, so all over Calgary, no matter what community, and it's looking at the detached sector of the market. So first, let's go down over here and take a look at this benchmark price. So the benchmark price for a detached home in the city of Calgary as of the end of February 2024 is $721,300. Now, I say the end of February 2024 because as of the making of this video, it's March 25th. So we're not through March yet, so we don't have those figures, but we do have the year or the month end figures, I should say, for the end of February, and it's 721,300. Now, this is up 2.72% from January, and it's up 13.18% from February of last year. And this chart right beside it demonstrates nicely what's going on. So here we are in February, we're at $721,300 for a detached home. And then you can see last February, it was $637,300 for a home. And so it's up year over year, 13.18%. Now you can kind of see what's going on here in the detached sector of the market. The darker colors represent the market going up. So we're in the black, if you will. And the blue color represents a pullback in the market when prices decrease a little bit. So yes, there's a little bit decrease, at the end of the summer. People are settled in and kids are going back to school. People aren't putting their homes on the market. So there was a bit of a pullback here. Not much. You can see it's $696,700 in August, and it was $696,100, so a whole $600. And then it jumped up again. And then same thing in December. Those wintering months, Christmas happens, sort of thing. So again, it's not uncommon to see a little bit of a pullback in these wintering months.
But October and November was very strong. And then you can see in January we bounced back up. So we were 697, 400 in December, and then jumped up to 702, $200 in January. And here we are, a huge jump at $721,300. Now, let's look at this chart under market status here at the top. This is the listing absorption rate. And anything over 50% is a strong sell, is in the seller's market territory. So you can see we're at 90.6%, and that's because we had 1,053 listings for detached homes, and 954 of them, or 90.6% of them, sold in February. So this is a very strong seller's market in the city of Calgary for detached homes. Now let's look at what's happened in the market over the last 10 years. You can see in 2015, the benchmark price for a detached home was $516,933, and then pulled back a little bit in 2016, up in 2017, down in 2018, 2019, and then started going up in 2020, 2021, way up, 2022, 2023, and here we are in 2024. So you can see that prices have been steadily increasing. Now, there's a few reasons why this might be the case. People love to debate this, but what we're seeing is during these years when Calgary was kind of pulling back a little bit, um, other markets, other major centers in Canada were going up, up, up. Toronto and Vancouver, for example. So Calgary is kind of playing catch up, if you will. So for those of us that live here, these prices are very expensive because we're used to lower prices, but it's been going up quite a bit. And the truth of the matter is, we're playing catch up with these other major markets. And so, for them, when they come here, $711,000. Well, boy, that's a lot more palatable than $2 million in Vancouver, right? So that's what's happening, kind of in that sector of the market. Now, here we are again. This again, just looking at the actives and the solds, 1,053 actives in February. This is up 6.15% from last month, but year over year, it's down 18.56% from last year. So that's the active listings. Now let's look at the sold month over month. We were up 29.97% in the amount of sold properties from the prior month, and year over year. And even though, the supply was only up 6.15%, but we're up roughly 30% in the number of sales. And if we look year over year, the number of sales are up 20.15% from last year, even though the supply is down, 18.5% from last year. We're seeing an increase in solds of 20%. So that's kind of telling. Average days on market here kind of tells you how much supply and how quickly things are selling. So you can see 25 days on market in February. Last February it was 31. Then in March last year, 25. So we'll see what happens as we move into the spring months coming up here, where our days in market lies. But you can see this is quite strong. And then if we look at where the pricing is, the $600,000 to $700,000 range is where the majority of sales are taking place, followed by that $700,000 to $800,000 range, followed that by that $500,000 to $600,000, and then that $800,000 to $900,000 range. And look over here, then it's the $1 to $1.5 million range, and so on and so forth. Now we'll look at the semi-detached sector of the market. So these are sort of like duplexes, if you will. They're basically houses that are attached by one common wall. So two properties, one wall, not a townhouse, but two houses connected together. So let's go down and look at the benchmark price for this city of Calgary. So it's $639,100. Now this is up 2.26% from last month. Year over year, though, it's up 12.74%. And if we look at this chart down here, right beside it from 2023 and 2024, you can see in 2023, the benchmark price was $566,900. And here we are now at $639,100. Again, these dark colors are the market increasing. The blue is a little bit of a pullback. And you can see we pulled back. Well, actually, October and November were actually the same. I don't know why they colored this one blue. In my opinion, it should stay the darker color, but whatever. And then it pulled back in December and January, and then up significantly. And again, just like the detached sector, it's the highest it's ever been. Now let's look at the benchmark price trend. Whoops, sorry guys. Okay, down here at the bottom, benchmark price trend. So you can see, we were $412,800 for this product type back in 2015, and we pulled back about $10,000 in 2016, and then it started to bounce back. Not quite to where it was in 2015, but in 2017 it bounced back. Pulled back in 2018, 2019, even more so. 2020, $389,183. And then just like the detached sector, it took off like a rocket in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. You can see here that, year over year from 2020 to 2021, it was up nearly 30%. And then up another nearly 12%. And then 6.86% in 2023. And here we are in 2024, just getting started, but so far we're up 4.48%. And let's look at the number of listings. Well, before we do that, let's look at the benchmark price trend chart here. So the listing absorption here is 86.04%. That's because there were a whole 222 listings available in February, with 191 of them selling, or 86.04% of them, which is a very strong seller's market. And now we'll look at again a little more closely at those 222 actives. Month over month, it's up 1.37%, but year over year, the amount of actives is down 12.94% from February of last year. Year over year, the number of sales, even though it's only up 1.37%, month over month, the number of sales is up 45.86, pardon me, 45.8% from January. And if we look at year over year, the number of sales is up 36.43%, even though year to year was 12.94%. Days on market, we can see we're at 26 days on market. And here's the sale distribution. The majority of those sales coming in that $500,000 to $600,000 range right here. So now we're going to look at the City of Calgary row housing. Row housing are like townhomes, if you will, and this is for, again, the end of February 2024. Now, we're going to come back to this absorption rate in just a moment here, but let's look at the benchmark price trend. Currently, the benchmark price for a townhouse in Calgary is $436,500. Again, this takes into account everything. This is up 2.37% from last month, but year over year, it's up 18.81%. And let's take a look here. So last February, the benchmark price was $367,400, and then it's been steadily increasing with this black right here. And then it pulled back a little bit in December from 429 to 425. And then it came back up to 426 in January. And here we are at 436,500 in February. So this is, again, very strong. One little blip down, not very much, not even a percentage point, back up and up in February. All right, here we are. So the listing absorption rate here is a strong seller's market, as you can see, at 114.66%. And that's because there were 307 listings available for sale, but 352 of them, or 114.66% of them, were sold in February. So you're probably scratching your head saying, Patrick, how is that possible? Well, it's because we're looking at the unsold inventory from the previous month. So this is new inventory plus the previous month's inventory. So we've eaten into it. So we're over 100% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market. This is a very popular product type because for those people that are getting priced out of the maybe detached or semi-detached sector, they're looking to townhomes. Now, if we come down here, we'll look at the price trend over the last 10 years. So 2015, you can see it was 323,000, and then it started going down in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and even 2020. Now, these were leaner years in the city of Calgary. And while the rest of Canada seemed to be doing very well economically, Alberta was not doing as well economically. And so it's reflected in kind of our real estate prices as well. And then you can see in 2021 started going up 11.07% from the previous year in 2021. 2022 is up 14.81%, 2023, 12.3%. And here we are in January. And pardon me, here we are in 2024 in February, and we're already up 8.13% from the previous year. Now, looking a little more closely at those actives and solds, as I said, 307 actives month to month. That's up nearly 20%, 19.46% from the previous month. Year to year, the amount is down 6.12%. Now, the amount of solds is up 18.52%. Now, probably no surprise because month to month, the supply is up as well. Year to year, the amount of solds is up 11.75% from the previous February. Even though the market's down 6.2% in the amount of supply, we were up 11.75%. Now, days on market right here, you can see 20 days on market. That's really quick, okay? And you can see, it was 19 days at one time. It was back in June in the past year. But you can see that this is a hot sector of the market. And here we are, 20 days in July, 20 days in August, September 21 days on market. So this is a hot sector of the market. And here we are at the price distribution, the amount of sales, the majority of them coming in at $400,000 to $500,000 range, followed by that $300,000 to $400,000 range, followed by that $500,000 to $600,000 range, and then all the $200,000 to $300,000 and the $600,000 to $700,000 ranges are quite close. Okay, and here we are finally with apartment condominiums as of the end of February 2024. So scroll down a little bit here. So the benchmark price right now is $329,600. This is up 1.73% from the previous month. Year over year, it's up 17.21% from the previous month last year. So from February 2023 is what I'm trying to say, guys. So let's look at this chart. Wow, black all the way along, up, right? Here we go. So it was 281,200 last February, and here we are at $329,600 this February. So that's really something. This has been a sector of the market where we've had a huge oversupply for a number of years. So, for example, we had some year, sometimes where it was, we'd have 7 months supply, an 8 month supply, a 9 or a 10 month supply of inventory, and prices were going down, down, down because the market was soft for sellers. It was a buyer's market. Now it's the exact reverse. We have very little supply, so month supply is low, and prices, as you can see, have been increasing all along. Now, the benchmark price here, or pardon me, the listing absorption rate is 82.54%, which is a strong seller's market. And that's because out of the 773 listings available, 638 of them, or 82.54% of those, sold in February. Now we'll pop down here to the benchmark price trend over the last number of years. You can see in 2024, here we are at 326. 800 it says here. I think that's a typo, guys. No, it's not. It's because we've got January, February combined in this figure here, even though this is higher. So January was a little lower, so that's why it's taking the average of them, putting them together here. But you can see in February last year was 302,000, and here we are 326,800. 2022 was 271,975. 2021 was 250,000. In 2015, it was 292,458. And then you can see these leaner years happening here. And then up, up, up. And days on market right now. Well, certainly not 7, 8, 9, or 10 months. Days on market properties are selling very quickly at 26 days on market on average. And, it's been fairly consistent. 36 days to 26 days is the lowest right now. So this has been a strong sector. And again, the higher price the product, the less people can afford it. So because these are a little more affordable, this is a hot sector of the market, just like the townhome sector of the market. And then we can look at the market distribution. The majority of the sales here were in that $200,000 to $300,000 range, just barely edging out that $300,000 to $400,000 range in condominiums. So they are pretty even overall. And then that $400,000 to $500,000 range, and so on and so forth.
So like I said, guys, if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of the bedroom communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text, email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.